without further
Do
ado,
they need him?
let's jump into the topics. Let's talk about Jack Jermaine Harlow. So, if you haven't been around for the last week or so, Jack Harlow has transitioned to R&B. You know, a few years ago, he had Was Poppin'. He had the Nail Tech song, I forgot the name of the joint. He had some songs percolating, you know, from Louisville, Kentucky. He had a Drake co-sign. He had a Wayne co-sign. He was bubbling. You know what I'm saying? But the music, you know, to keep it 1,000, you know, it really didn't pop off like that. He had some songs that was popping in the club, but I don't think it took off. The trajectory didn't take off as they thought. He didn't become like a superstar. He had White Men Can't Jump on Hulu, the movie.
Jack Harlow?
Jack Harlow
Okay.
did, but it didn't really pop. I mean, I remember seeing an Ebro interview on Hot 97. It was like, this is the last interview we're gonna get with Jack Harlow because he's out of here. He's gonna be like a rocket ship. I don't think it panned out like that for him.
I think he already left
in hip hop, but now he's back. Now he says he's gotten blacker. Now he's studying the sounds. There's been a lot of conversations about cultural appropriation, about how white artists can have the ability to genre switch and genre flip. My thought before I let Leroy and then Super cook up, I think we've always seen this, right? We've always seen some element of this, right? Even from, you know, go back in the day with Blondie. I think if you go back to Madonna, she had some elements about that. You had Tina, you had Lisa Stansfield. You had people.
Look at the people you're naming.
Even if you go back to like the pop era, like Christina Aguilera took some of the sounds. You know what I'm saying? Britney Spears had the Neptunes do some of their music, so that she went from the pop world. So when she came with "I'm a Slave for You," she kind of came with the Neptunes beat. You know what I'm saying? And kind of dressing, kind of.
Are these people fire though?
Her makeup
you're
was
naming fire people.
Her makeup was a little darker. You know what I'm saying? You got Nelly Furtado did the joint when she hooked up with Timberland. You know what I'm saying? And she went from "I'm Like a Bird" to "Promiscuous Girl," and she had the Timberland beats. And then she was on the Miss Jade record, Ching Ching. Then you had, I remember being a kid watching the Apollo, right? And it'd be the same talented person, right? So the brother or the sister come out there and sing, our people start booing, you know what I'm saying? And saying, man, come do the dance, get them up out of here. Then it could be a white artist, you know, a white dude, especially a white dude, a white female come sing the same exact song. Don't sound no different than who got booed off. And folks will be going crazy. So it's an element of the culture where we accept these type of things. Like Justin Timberlake, you know what I'm saying, came in the game like that. Even if you listen to country music. I heard, I love country music. I'm in Nashville all the time. I love it. I heard that an argument somebody said that Morgan Wallen was a new hip hop star. Because if you listen to country music now, a lot of the elements, especially some of the newer country music, is taking like hip hop sounds and phrases that we say and incorporating that in their music. So I don't know if it's a cultural appropriation. I think it's an interesting thing to see. You had Hall and Oates back in the day. You had Sting and the Police taking some of them sounds from our Jamaican brothers and incorporating their music. Again, it's a lot to unpack. I think it's interesting. The album was okay. You know what I mean? I don't have any negative things to say about it. It's just an interesting thing to witness. I've never seen somebody do it so blatantly and so open and honestly say, "Yo, this is what I'm doing. I'm swagger jacking black people. I'm genre switching." You know what I'm saying? It's a very interesting conversation. So with that being said, I'll turn it over to Leroy, and then I'll turn it over to Super Duper. What do y'all think about the Jack Harlow switch from hip hop to R&B and him becoming blacker?
Okay, so when you talk about, people like Blondie, Madonna, these people lived in New York City. So it could be kind of hard to escape blackness if you living in New York City. Do you feel what I'm saying? Now, I can't see myself. Hold on. But in songwriting, right? From a songwriting perspective, how do you write a song without dipping your pen in black ink? It's metaphorically speaking, it's just not possible. The style of songwriting is us already. So as soon as you start songwriting, you already in blackness from the jump. That's just the difference between pop music and rap music. I don't know what the difference is. Now people are gonna say that's crazy. We know what the difference is, but I'm talking about in songwriting form and cadences. I don't know what the difference is. When someone like a Jack Harlow, if you look up First Class, he's gone. He already did it. He already did what he's supposed to do. That one song, he's out of here. You don't need a you don't need a whole you don't need to do 10 years to be successful in rap. You need a hit song and you're out of here. That's it. He could leave today and it doesn't make a difference. He's successful for life. You need a hit song, not 10 years. So, but in the songwriting itself, you already in blackness. Now with this album, I'm a song person first. Everybody was on his head. I'm only care about the music. I appreciate the music. Sorry. I appreciate the song. The single, the first single he had where he's walking a young lady down the street. Sorry. I appreciate the music. I don't care what color this person is. I just don't, man. Because to me, respectfully, I think they grow up right across the street from us. If you black and you live on this street, right across the street is a white dude right there. He went to the same kindergarten. He went to the same elementary, grade school, high school, college. He watched the same movies. He listened to the same albums. Y'all discussed the same rappers. So I don't see what the difference is for me. You know what I mean? Now everyone else I understand, but gatekeeping can also become a fence. You gatekeep so hard that it's a fence now that you can't get out. So that's what I see here. As far as the music itself, I appreciate it. I think that had we been focusing on our own skills, we wouldn't be so upset about Jack Harlow because we would have been talking about Gnarls Barkley, Bruno Mars, Jill Scott, and other people. But we got our antennas up focusing on the outside of the gate. We talking about what Jack Harlow did. Shit, honestly, I would not be surprised if by the end of the year, Jack Harlow put the attention on soul music more so than our artists did, black artists. You know what I mean? I would not be surprised. I'm sorry, man. I know this is a different opinion than what's out there, but I'm just being technical with you, right? If you're an artist, you're gonna have to listen to black artists if you want to develop style. Because where are you gonna get style from then? Like where? Who? How? Everyone you look up to studies black artists. Everybody, 100%. So where you gonna go? That's it. You know.
Stuco, what you got?
I'm
What
a,
your thoughts on that, bro?
I'm gonna start. I mean, for me, I got two whole different topics than the main subject that people have been talking about on this subject. I mean, for one, I mean, I think it's this was obvious. I mean, when we first heard the song, Leroy, you my witness. When I first heard the song, I'm like, yeah, the song is pretty dope to me. I thought the song it sounded pretty decent. He sound cool, vibing over the
Right.
track. It's fine. But the first thing I said was, they're gonna kick his back in for all of a sudden turning into John B. It was obvious what the internet was gonna do. And I think that I'm gonna shoot him a little bell. I think we having a little bit of selective outrage at the moment with what he said. If we really want to be mad at anybody about him saying, I got blacker, I got blacker, I got blacker. If you want to be really mad at him saying that he got blacker, I mean, you got to be mad at the interviewers because they was basically setting him up. They was basically saying what he just said. He was basically like, get to the fucking point. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna shoot Jack Harlow a little bell where like he was basically completing their sentence by saying that he got blacker because that's basically what they was inferring. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna shoot him a little bit of bail for that. But on another level, so this is my issue, or this is my whole um issue with the topic. It's fine that I had no problem with him switching genres. That's what a lot of white artists have the luxury of being able to jump into hip hop and go into country. Like this is what they was basically talking about in the interview: go into country, go back into rock and roll, go into jazz. Make neo soul if they should feel. You know what I mean? They get that luxury, and most of the time, we might call them a culture vulture or whatever, but they don't get very much pushback, especially even from our fan base. We get over it. If they make a dope song, we just allow it. When Miley Cyrus did her genre switch when she was making songs with Juicy J and they was bumping, we was all right with it. We was like, all right, cool, whatever. You know what I mean? We didn't really we didn't kick her back in too hard. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe the her country audience might have done it, but we really wasn't too cool with it. If the music was dope, we let it ride. But for this instance, I mean, you really got to look at like the past artists that have been black and have tried the genre switch and how much pushback they have gotten. You know what I mean? I mean, I think that they gonna gatekeep the shit that we created anyway. If they gonna gatekeep country and they gonna gatekeep against somebody like a Beyonce with the the legacy of somebody with Beyonce, they should be damn near honored that she wanted to do a country album versus giving her pushback and telling her that she should have came and hung out on Nashville and came and talked with the people and went about it like she was some newbie to the music industry or something. It's Beyonce and she wanted to do.
She's been out like 30 years.
Right. But the pushback and how they how they acted fit about it, you know what I mean? Even with how they acted fit about Shabuzi and, you know, Lil X. You know what I mean? Like, I think that it is something that we should be looking at, like, as a community of hip hop. You know what I mean? Like, this is where gatekeeping is important. You know what I mean? I think that we should be gatekeeping with this shit. And as far as like questioning people's authenticity and things like that. I think that you know, like Jack Harlow, like I said, I thought the song was dope. The album is smooth, it's mellow enough to listen to. It ain't like it's bad. It's not that bad to me, to be honest with you. It's cool, whatever. But like I said, the bigger picture is that black artists don't get the luxury to genre switch like that. And I think that that's really what we should be really talking about.
Yeah, so I'm gonna push back a little bit because I think when you say genre switch, we are the originators. I would say of mostly all genres. So
of course,
it's really
right.
It's really not genre switching.
Exactly.
I think when it comes to Lil Nas X, I think they saw Lil Nas X to be somebody like a weirdo and was kind of on some weird stuff, and they didn't want that.
Not at the time, though, Ron.
He had his one song.
At that time, he was on Sesame Street. He was just a regular dude. He wasn't out the closet or whatever. He was just a regular guy.
Okay. Shabuzi, I think Shabuzi get love. You know what I'm saying? Shabuzi get love, and from the circles I be seeing in Nashville, he get love. I think. I think let's look at Darius Rucker. Darius Rucker didn't get no pushback. You know, when he came on the scene back in the 90s with Hootie and the Blowfish, again, a genre that, you know, black people created, he didn't get no pushback. He was embraced. Then he went to country music. He has some
but he started there. We're not gonna give him no pushback for being somebody that already Darius Ruckers came out as that. He didn't jump in as hip hop and then jump out. He didn't use hip hop as a stepping stone.
Post Malone is an example.
Right. Post Malone. There's plenty of examples of these guys. But how many successful examples of black artists can you even say, or artists that was black that done this and didn't get pushback?
Give me an example.
But were we giving pushback?
Who got pushback? And I can tell you, if we talking about Beyonce got pushback again. Y'all don't want to hear what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell my brothers. I know the city. I know the music. I know the music industry. I know people that's in the music industry. I know people that manage.
Ron,
it's Beyonce. Like, she's already Beyonce.
She did not go to Nashville and ingratiate herself in the.
All right. So where is the hip hop? Where's the hip hop version of what you talking about, the Nashville guy?
I mean, it would be the same. It'll be.
Ain't that gatekeeping? That's gatekeeping, right?
It'll be.
Right. How can you gatekeep Beyonce?
We haven't seen it. We haven't seen it.
Listen, if they had the nerve to gatekeep Beyonce, right? So if we want to gatekeep somebody like Jack Harlow, that's fine.
That's fine. I agree.
Right. It's nothing wrong with it. I think the internet, he deserved to get cooked to a certain degree, but at the same time, like, it's a lot of. I'm gonna get into this. It sounds
like hate more so than gatekeeping.
It sounds like selective outrage, and I think that's. Bro. I'm gonna get to that with LaRussell too. It's a lot of selective outrage.
Really, what's the difference between a Jack Harlow and a Justin Timberlake? What's the difference?
When we're naming all these people, we're naming talented people. That's the problem. If we were naming people that were trash, if Beyonce was a trash artist, then it would make sense what you're saying. But if we're naming, if Justin Timberlake was a trash artist, it would make sense what you're saying. But
Justin Timberlake always made R&B. He always made R&B too.
We're naming people with the thing about Beyonce is she was a global icon. So
I'm
it
not
made
disputing that.
no sense.
I'm
Hold
not.
on, she probably sold out arenas in Nashville. If there, she probably has been to Nashville probably 30 times in her life, in her
Listen,
career.
I
So
totally
it
get.
made absolutely no sense for a global icon. Let's say I don't know who you want to call a global icon now, but if they come to your city, it makes more sense to just invite them because that's a global icon. You see what I'm saying? And again though, man, this is where gatekeeping becomes offense because if I'm a rapper and I want to sing, I'm gonna get a bunch of pushback saying it's not hip hop.
It's like
If I'm a rapper and I want to make house music and I want to make electronic music and I want to make pop music, I'm going to get a bunch of pushback
Leroy. Leroy,
telling me that I'm not hip hop because I want to make house
Leroy.
music.
It's like Eminem making a dance hall record, going to Jamaica and speaking
Bro, how
patois.
you going to tell me
So
I'm not hip hop?
you can't.
Me.
I mean, and it's like Eminem making a dance hall record, speaking in patois, never going to Jamaica,
Why can't he do that?
and staying in
Why can't he
Detroit
do that?
because it doesn't. It's
He,
offensive. It's
and
offensive
it's
to the people
offensive
that
for
make the
Eminem to
music.
make dance music. Why?
I said dance hall music. I'm saying making
But
Jamaican music.
he's not gonna turn Jamaican, bro.
I'm saying
He's not gonna turn
it's not,
Jamaican.
that's a terrible analogy because it's not the
But
same.
but it would not be offensive. It's not offensive
I
to
want to retract.
to
I
do
want to
that.
retract it on the record. That's a terrible analogy because Beyonce is
It's
from.
not offensive to
Let me
just
say,
make music. That's
I
not
want to
offensive.
clarify my statement before people kick my back in. I'm not saying that.
No, there ain't nobody gonna do nothing.
Let me be real specific on what I'm saying. Beyonce is from Texas, Houston, Texas.
Texas.
Black music is country music. Country
She
music
is from
was started by
Texas,
black people.
bro.
That's in her DNA. They got the rodeo in Texas. I'm not saying Beyonce's not country. I'm not saying it. I'm not
She
saying
is
she's
the
not.
walking embodiment of country.
I'm
So
saying is the music business in Nashville and the producers, the writers is very
They're
small.
not bigger than Beyonce.
It's like Post Malone. Post Malone did a country album. He was treated differently. He got tattoos on his face. He was treated differently because he moved to Nashville and
who cares?
but it's a simple.
He ain't Beyonce for one, and this is Beyonce. Who's the listen? What gives Nashville the right to tell Beyonce she got to walk down the yellow brick road and kiss the ring and come meet the wizard?
I'm not
And
saying that.
like that's
Come
what I'm
meet the
saying. So
wizard.
like, what is we talking about, man? Like, what is you saying? Like,
It's like if
you putting country music on such a high pedestal. Like, yeah, well, you got to come and you got to go to the people first, and you got to go to the city and
Every
come to
city feels like
Nashville.
that.
You got to go to Nashville. That's
if I want to politic in Milwaukee, right? I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm gonna make my album called Milwaukee, and I'm gonna start naming some streets in Milwaukee. I ain't never been to Milwaukee.
You wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't give
yeah.
me
Is
no
that what she
respect.
did? I don't think that's what she
You would be
did.
like,
She didn't make a country album about Nashville.
you'd be like, who the hell is this dude, and why he's speaking on? You know, again, I can't.
If I go to Milwaukee and I say,
I'm
look, if
sounding
I go
like
to
I'm sounding
Milwaukee and I
crazy
say,
trying to
look,
explain this shit, man.
I want to make a certain kind of song, but I'm not dissing y'all. I got love for y'all. Then why would they diss me? Like, if I'm not dissing. I'm telling y'all I got
Man,
love
look,
for
we
y'all.
got
And they diss
and
me? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like,
this is
we
a
know
bigger
that
problem too.
is not she doesn't hate people. She's not throwing around disses. Like, she's got love. Like,
They
we
thought
know
that
that.
she was.
Y'all gotta understand. I'm sure y'all seen these videos on like online where it's like they do like this Chinese American Idol and these people wear blackface and these Chinese people wear blackface and they rap and they look like Snoop Dogg or Drake or whatever and they have contests and it's like this they put this shit on TV, right? This is basically the same thing. I think the Chinese people is looking at it like, well, shit, they let the white people do this shit. Like, why we can't do it? They let them do it over there, and they can do it. How come we can't do it? It's basically
But there is an element though.
on another level. What Jack Harlow attempted to do is equal to what they do on those videos over there in China.
But there is an element in China though where they literally grew up listening to hip hop though.
Yeah, but I don't think you've seen these videos that I'm talking about.
The
I'm
one
talking
you
about
said,
they.
the one you said,
But understand,
the
in
K-pop
China,
joints.
you're gonna
No,
find
not the
dudes.
K-pop ones. I'm talking about the ones where they dressing up in blackface and they rapping.
I understand.
It's like American Idol where they dressing up like
I ain't
black
I
seen
people. They
understand.
wearing blackface. They doing this the whole nine. Like they finding
The
lookalikes.
blackface thing is disrespectful. However, there are artists out there that look like us, dress like us, talk like us, and they're not dissing. They literally grew up listening to hip hop. Like that is them. Like yes, they're Chinese, but they literally grew up on hip hop, and they're not dissing. So
Either
then
way,
when
like
we
I
make a
said,
blanket thing, we're also outcasting people that are not dissing.
I'm not outcasting
You know
anything,
what
where
I'm
I'm
saying?
not. I'm outcasting mimicry. And like I said, if you offended by that over there, if you offended by those videos, then you should be offended by why a lot of this. Why do we let a lot of these white people get away with exactly what these Chinese people was doing over there in them videos? It's exactly the same thing. It's
Jack
just
Harlow went to college in Atlanta. So if you're in Atlanta, what am I supposed to pick up? He's from Kentucky. How far is Kentucky from hip hop? Do they have hip hop in Kentucky? I
Nappy
don't know.
Roots. Nappy Roots is from Kentucky.
So he's from places where hip hop is probably present. And so it's not like he's reaching very far. I understand the gatekeeping theory, but it becomes where somebody who authentic comes through and then they get shut down, but they were authentic though. That's the danger in doing that. You know
but
what I'm saying?
like you were saying in your statement, Ron. I mean, black people is always happy to see white people dance. And happy to see a white boy that can sing and got a little bit of rhythm. As soon as you see
We're
somebody
just
at the
not
wedding,
threatened by
as soon
it.
as you
Listen,
see a
bro.
white man at the wedding
We're not
dancing on
threatened
the
by it.
beat or doing the step or doing the line dance, people pulling out their phones and he going viral because he's white and he can stay on beat. You know what I mean? It's the same thing.
That's essentially what I
It's the same
gave.
thing.
That's essentially what I gave Jack Harlow credit for his album doing. But again, as someone who's trained in songwriting, even though I have no hit record or nothing like that, I'm not submitting them either, not submitting stuff. But um, as a songwriter, I gave him credit for having good melodies,
And it's sad.
for having good vocal delivery,
Before you
for
go,
having good instrumentation and hook writing.
before
I
you go,
did give him credit for that because as a songwriter, I don't have a choice. I'm not gonna lie. Because you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying it's the best album. People have to like it. Whoa, that's not what I'm saying. If you don't like it, you do not have to like it. I'm saying to my ears specifically. I'm just hearing songwriting techniques that qualify
before you
to
go,
me.
Sue, I want to say this. I think it's though a little bit. I guess where I'm coming from with it, I think it's a little bit problematic. I guess that's the word I'm trying to use. That
Right.
Jack Harlow's afforded to make this type of music. You know what I'm saying? And we
Okay.
don't see a lot of black artists being afforded the ability or the platform
Do
to
they
make.
try? Do
You
they
just
try
took my
to?
next point. That's what I was just about
I
to
don't
say.
know. You know what I'm saying? You got artists like Adele making her type of music that Adele makes. You know what I'm saying? You had a Josh Stone before. You know what I'm saying? You got artists able to even
Right.
when you look
That's
at
pop
hip
music.
hop. You know, some of the lyrics of Eminem and Mac Miller and all of a sudden we don't get a logic. You know, we don't get
Mac
the ability.
Miller,
We don't
what
get
that
the
do?
ability to express ourselves the way our forefathers in this game
Why
expressed them.
why not?
And we
Hey,
celebrating somebody that's really taking back what we did at the basics of our core,
Who's
like it's
stopping
some
us
kind of
from
new,
making whatever we
like
want?
some type of
Who's
new
stopping
thing.
us?
It ain't nothing new, a great thing. It's what we've been doing, but we started.
Who's stopping us?
The record label started pushing out hip hop, R&B that sounded like hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And I really want to. I'm not. You know, I think R. Kelly kind of paved the way for that a little bit, and then you had Marcus Houston, and you had those sounds. You talking
No,
about
nobody's stopping us,
Pop,
bro.
and the R&B cat started dressing like hip hop artists. You know what I'm saying? Talk about taking your chick, and I think that happened like the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? He had like it was the hip hop R&B artists. You know what I'm saying? And then hip hop started incorporating singing in their records. So now that somebody's taking something back to the basics, you know what I'm saying? We celebrating like this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. We've been doing that until the record labels were.
We have not been doing that.
Yeah,
We have
yes, we
not
have.
been making. We
Hey,
have not.
Ron,
What rappers have soul albums out right now? Name
Ron,
them.
Ron.
We have not been doing that.
We was reading each other's mind at that moment because
We have not been making soul
that's my
albums or
second
soul
point.
songs. We
That's
haven't
my
even been
second
making soul
problem with this
songs.
whole thing with Jack Harlow.
That's cat, bro.
Because when is the last time you seen a black neo soul artist push? Leroy, you said it yourself. CeeLo Green just dropped a soul album. Jill Scott just dropped a soul album. The industry ain't pushed that. When the last time you even heard a neo soul
Whose
album?
fault is
Period.
that? Is that
That's
whose
not
fault is that?
no. That's the industry's fault. They don't allow black. They haven't been allowing.
Who's stopping black people?
They have been killing R&B and then allowing these other people to come back and do it. They
How
killed
come?
R and
How
B and
come
then
we can't?
allowed it.
How come we
They
can't
killed
just?
R and B. They killed R and B and then allowed Adele to
So
come back to do it.
it's other
They
people's
kill.
responsibility to
They
put us.
do this every time. So like black artists
But
can't get off doing black art.
what if Jack spent his
And then as
own
soon as
money?
they find
What
a
if
white
Jack
artist
spent
that
his
can
own
sing
money?
like a black artist, then they'll push them to the forefront.
What if Jack spent his own money on himself to promote himself? What if he did that?
We know he
What are we
didn't.
gonna say?
We know he didn't. He's
If
part of the industry.
but could he afford his own video?
We're not playing what if. What
How come we don't?
if they promoted? What if they promoted? They
How
don't even
come we
promote.
don't promote?
They don't even promote Erica Badu albums no more. They act like
Why
Erica
doesn't Erica
Badu and
promote
Jill
herself?
Scott don't even exist no more right now.
Well,
They
if
act
you
like
don't,
it's a couple of other guys.
but
I mean,
we
you
do not promote ourselves, and we do
got
not make
guys like
soul records.
Sir. You don't even hear Sir on the radio. But we talk
But
about
whose
Jack
fault is
Harlow
that?
making neo soul.
Whose
We don't
fault
even
is these things?
we don't hear about half of the people that really make neo
Whose fault is
soul.
that?
The industries. It's a clear.
It's
This is
not
it's a
the
clear.
industry. It's not.
This is
It's not
clearly
the
the
because
attempt at replacement. This is a clear
whose
attempt at
fault is
replacement.
that? If an artist wants to do what they do, they can't keep blaming the industry. You can do whatever you want to do. There is
If the
nobody
industry
who
is not promoting neo
there is
soul,
no
why would
one
they
who's
all of a
not
sudden
doing
start promote neo
it.
soul when Jack Harlow want to do it?
But you could have promoted yourself. You could have done that. Every artist, you could have done that. I'm sorry, I get the argument, but we are not making soul records. That is cap. We have a few that have been making soul records, but
So
the
Mr. Jack
majority.
Harlow magically is the only one that's
I've
making
been
soul
reviewing rap albums
It's
for
a lot of
years
people
now.
still
Hold
making
on,
soul albums.
I've been reviewing rap albums for years now. You guys are not making soul records, bro. I'm sorry.
They not getting
Rappers
promoted.
specifically. I've been reviewing your albums.
We're not talking about rappers.
So Jack
I know you're
Harlow,
not making. No,
We're not talking about rappers.
rappers.
I'm not talking about
Jack
rappers.
Harlow is
I'm
a
talking
rapper.
about no, because Jack
Harlow is a rapper.
Jack Harlow made a neo soul album. It's not a lyric on there.
rappers, you are not
It's not.
making
There's no
soul
bars
music.
on there. He's not
You are
rapping.
not making soul music.
He's
That
not
is
rapping. He's not even attempting to rap. He's not being a hip hop artist.
He is a
there.
rapper.
Regardless, Leroy, I think you're missing my point.
The rappers are not making soul.
We don't need the rappers
checking
too.
for it.
What we don't need the rappers to do what the R&B singers can already do.
But
We already got neo soul artists that don't get no
We do,
publicity.
though. Even
And
if
they
you're not
sing,
singing,
they can do it
you're
way
not-
better than Jack Harlow.
rappers, you are not making love songs. I've been listening for
Anderson
them,
.Paak
and you're
barely
not
get a
making
push.
them. You are not making them. Rappers, you are not.
Get out
You
of here,
are not
man.
spinning your.
Why are you asking rappers to make neo soul?
Because you cannot complain about what somebody else
The
is
neo
making
soul artists
when
can't
you
even make it.
are not willing to make it yourself.
I don't know what they're willing to make. I just think
but they're not.
I know that we already have neo soul artists making neo soul, and they get no push from the industry. And then now Jack Harlow makes a neo soul album, and they acting like he damn near reinvented or tried to put the genre on the map or something. Like all of a sudden, like he created a new lane or some shit like that. That's what was going to be the next topic if we didn't kick his fucking back end for naming this album "My Nigga" and all that. Anyway, if he didn't get his back kicked
no
in,
promotion behind his music,
they would have been acting like he created some whole new genre out of nowhere, or he's the father of neo soul. They would have relabeled this if it would have went down the way they wanted to go down.
Bruno Mars put no promotion behind his new album, right? None. Whose fault is that?
Bruno Mars gets plenty promotion.
No, Bruno Mars put no promotion behind his new album.
Bruno Mars gets plenty promotion, man. He gonna be on a TV show. He gonna be on a late night show performing. He gonna be at a festival. He gets plenty promotion.
Hold on though, because you're just breezing by my point.
You breezing by my point. You're not even talking about what I'm saying.
I know what promotion is. And Bruno Mars did not do promotion for his new album. He did a performance. But he did not. You do not see him you do not see him all over these different platforms. You do not see his promotional videos popping up when you're searching.
You see him on Late Night with Jimmy Kimmel. You see him on Late Night with Jimmy Fallon.
Jill Scott. She did not do promotion for her album. Gnarls Barkley. They did not do promotion for their album. So again, though, and even if the reason why they didn't do promotion is because they don't have to. They don't have to promote themselves. Bruno Mars never has to promote himself because what difference does it make if he says nothing? because he's already Bruno Mars. Do you feel what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is a lot of our main artists, they already him. Jill Scott is already her. She
Jack
needs no
Harlow's not in that
promotion.
category.
Gnarls Barkley,
Right.
CeeLo is him. He needs no promotion. He's already him. So, I'm talking about rappers because in this space we judge rappers. If we were judging R&B singers, I'd have a different approach, but we judge rappers, and no, rappers, you are not making what Jack Harlow just made. So but you're upset about it, but you didn't make it. And the default is the industry. It's always the default, the industry. Well, who in the industry exactly? We're not gonna know. But it's just the industry, all of y'all got microphones, you got YouTube access, you got money in the bank. Them is the three things that the industry uses. Them is the three things: the studio, the YouTube, and money in the bank. That's how they promote. Rappers, y'all got that. You're in these. You got $100,000 chains on, but you ain't got no promotion. Come on, man. It's like I understand the concept of what's going on, but nobody's stopping these rappers from making house music. Nobody's stopping these rappers from making R&B music, rock music. Y'all could go in the studio today and make that and promote that yourself. But y'all don't want to do that because you know it'll be pushback from in the house. The call is gonna come from in the house. We push back ourselves. It ain't the industry, it's us doing that. The call is coming from in the house. The industry don't care. The industry only cares about what makes money. Honestly,
Well,
that's all they care about.
Well, we got to move to the next topic, guys. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Let us know what you think about this conversation. Should there be gatekeeping in R&B and hip hop? Jack Harlow's Monica album dope? Did you like it? What do you think about this? Is this par for the course, or do we have an issue where other artists are able to make music that our artists can't make anymore within our communities? But that's a good conversation.